The time is now 6:30. We will go ahead and begin with our open meeting. Starting off the open meeting, we're going to start with public. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Let the record reflect. At 5:40, Mr. Trustee Barty joined us. Now we will move on to our public participation. We will have the first one by Ms. Kennedy Meeks, our senior representative for Memorial High School. Okay, you do have 3 minutes, so if you get close and kind of going, I'll give you a little time warning.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Kennedy Meeks, and I am honored to serve as the Senior Student Body President for the 2025-2026 school year at Memorial High School. I stand before you today on behalf of my classmates, students who care deeply about our school and its future. First, I want to thank the board for allowing me to speak, and I especially want to thank Dr. Murphy. Her leadership structure and even the new phone policy have made a real difference. Students are more engaged, and many who were once to participate are now motivated to make this year a success. We appreciate your communication to helping us grow into successful young adults. With that being said, we believe there are areas where more balance is needed. These include the bathroom policies, dress code, cafeteria line procedures, searching for personal belongings, and mostly important, the culture of trust between students and staff. Let me begin with the dress code. Students should be allowed to dress comfortably. A dress code does not affect our test scores. It affects our appearance. Many students struggle with body image and wearing oversized clothing to feel secure. If a student maintains a 4.0 GPA on a college scale, their attire should not overshadow their academic excellence. Next, bathroom access. Students should deserve privacy and trust when attending to personal needs. Female students in particular may require additional time in emergencies with only 4 minutes between classes and long lines at restrooms. Many students are forced to choose between being late or skipping basic needs. This is not a choice we should have to make. On the top of searches, we understand the importance of safety, but when students are searched by one teacher and then again another in a classroom or hallway, it begins to feel excessive. We ask for consistency and fairness in how these policies are applied. We also want to acknowledge that many teachers share these concerns. Some may feel hesitant to speak out, especially when teaching is their only source of income. As students, we stand in solidarity with our educators. These affects our entire school community and are here to be their voice too. Now let's talk about poverty and equity. The reality is that 80 to 90% of students in our district live in poverty. This affects attendance, test preparation, and even the ability to meet dress codes requirements. According to Dr. Polk's report, what truly improves schools is not stricter rules, but a stronger focus on social emotional learning, mental health support, and community partnerships. Let's not forget the financial impact. Each student represents approximately $6,000 and $500 in funding. If 100 students leave or are unenrolled, that's a $650,000 loss. That loss doesn't just disappear, it means fewer books, fewer computers, fewer desks, and fewer resources that directly impact our education. So here's the bottom line. We are not asking to remove the rules, we are asking for fairness. We are asking for respect. We are asking for the chance to prove that when trusting students at Memorial High School will rise to the occasion and succeed. We want discipline to be just discipline. We want students' voices to be heard, and we want the focus to shift from control to guidance. With this balance, students will not only behave better, they will thrive. Thank you for your time, your leadership, and your commitment to making Memorial High School a place where every student has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Meeks. I just want to say, on behalf of the board, that we appreciate you for coming and sharing that information with us. It was very well spoken and duly noted. So we thank you for taking the time and coming represent your senior class in a very nice and professional way, and we definitely appreciate that. Now we'll go on to our staff report. Well, if there's nothing else from any other board members. Okay, we'll move on to the staff report by Dr. Mark Porter.
Okay. President Johnson, board members, two things from me, and then we'll go around the room for our assistants, superintendents, and CFO, and of course, Ms. Lott, who will give all of the wonderful things that's happening in our district. I would like to address and give a huge thanks to staff. On yesterday, of course, we were in a challenge with the water situation. There was a water main broken, and it affected not only the district, but the entire city of Port Arthur. So I would like to thank everyone. I mean, everyone went into went into gear, and of course, we did not know it was happening. We did not know that the water main was broken until we all were at school, students and staff. So that meant we had to pivot quickly. And I will say the, the immediate thing we did was contacted parents to let them know that if they wished to pick up their children, they could. We put it out on social media, and parents who chose to pick their kids up, they did. Receiving went out and purchased pallets of water, and it was delivered to every campus so we could have clean drinking water. Even before they said the water was not drinkable, we did that. And the communication between administrators and staff, administration building and the staff was very, very clear. And we talked all by text all day long. But what I want parents to understand is that when things happen, just quickly, I mean, when there's a serious issue that happens quickly, and students, 8,000 students are in the school system, we can't just shut down schools because there are parents who are working, there are parents who are not where we can reach them, and we can't put students on a bus and say, just go home. We must make sure that safety comes first. So with that said, none of our schools were closed down because we were going to stay until the last student went home. Yes, we had issues with buckets, flushing commodes, we had water, we fed every child, which we want to do. But it's not that simple. Okay, you have a water main breakage, everyone just go home. So that's not going to ever happen, especially when something happens when all students are already in place. So we did get some questions about why we just didn't shut down the schools. Well, some of our parents, when we contacted them, said that the student is going to stay right there. They're not coming home, and they're not going home. And elementary, we surely can't place elementary students on a bus and say, go home and make sure you get home safely. And parents don't know, because if something happens, that becomes our responsibility. So for those reasons, we stayed open the entire day, and we made it. Everyone, cafeteria workers, custodians, transportation, everyone, it was all hands on deck. And we did a magnificent job at getting through the day, which was very, very difficult and unannounced. So congratulations to staff. Thank you, board members, for for helping us. When I talked to you all, it was good. Y'all were okay. Let's just move forward, get it done. And that's what we did. So it was a good thing. So thank you again. And to our staff, I am most proud of all staff members in the Port Arthur Independent School District, and to our students, because when things happen and they get disrupted out of the realm of what they're accustomed to, but they were, for the most part, they were calm, so for kids. So they did a great job. So our kids are wonderful, and most of our parents understood, so they were great. Those parents that wanted to pick up their kids, they did. Others kept them with us, and we wanted them with us. So it was good. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is TAFE. Now, that's exciting for me. TAFE is, the acronym stands for Texas Association for Future Educators. If you could remember Future Teachers of America, FTA. Well, there's a TAFE program that we're going to embark upon. Our first group will be the 42 students from Wilson Early College that are part of our student teacher program. They're into the elementary schools and possibly one middle school we may try out this year. And then we have students that will be coming from Memorial 9 through 12 that will be a part of it as well. So we're excited to bring that organization back. And it's going to be, we had a meeting this morning with Dr. Johnson, Diane Johnson, and it was a really good meeting with her. And she's at Lamar University in Beaumont. There's a collegiate chapter at Lamar, and we're going, and they said they're going to come in, they're going to help us, they're going to set up things. And this really, we're going to have two chapters, one at Woodrow Wilson and one at Memorial High School 912. So we are excited to bring that back because we want to grow our own. And we do have some of our students from Wilson that graduated that were part of our student teacher program, and they're back with us in our district now teaching. They've graduated from college and they're back. So that is a wonderful thing. So we want to grow more. So Future Teachers of America was a very popular organization in the day, and we're just as excited about Taffy coming to us. It's been in existence since 1984, but it's going to come into Port Arthur, and just excited for our kids. And then our students are asking for it, so that's a good thing. So we're happy about those two initiatives. Ms. Jacobs.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, board. So I'd like to start by echoing Dr. Portery's sentiments about our staff's responsiveness. So this is probably my first emergency, if you will, since coming into my role in May. And I was just overly impressed by the diligence, the competency, the dedication of our staff. Everyone, as he mentioned, was ready on their toes, ready to shift into gear and stay late, do whatever it took to make sure that our students were safe and our campuses were restored to their proper working order. So I cannot echo those sentiments enough. Very, very proud to be part of the leadership team in operations, especially on a day like yesterday. So to continue, I just have a couple of quick points. This year, I've declared it to be a year of cultivating a culture of excellence and continuous improvement in the operations department. This initiative, I'm calling it an umbrella initiative, was introduced at the very first ever General Assembly of all operations personnel, so that's a little over 300 people. And we had our first assembly immediately following the convocation on August 4th. And so as a result of that umbrella initiative, a few others have fallen out. One being our work order management system, FMX. So we are currently undertaking the mammoth effort of cleaning it up to make sure that our system works best for us, and not just us as in operations, but works well for the users. So for the individual campuses, as well as all of our administrators. Huge undertaking. FMX is generally managed by maintenance, technology, shipping and receiving, and custodial services. And so hopefully by the time we get to December, I can deliver a report saying it's 100% clean, all the statuses are updated, and we are moving towards just being more efficient in our operations and using that work order management system to take care of the types of work orders that we receive for a plethora of things, moving furniture, plumbing, painting, carpentry work, you name it. The next initiative that falls under that cultivating the culture of excellence and continuous improvement is a focus on greater collaboration with campus principals to foster better rapport, greater transparency, and the success of resolutions. And this kind of ties back to our work order management system, in that a great deal of our communication that we have with campus leaders are facilitated via work orders. And so in building or reestablishing these relationships and building more confidence in our abilities to handle work tasks in a timely manner, in an efficient manner, in a transparent manner, we are, again, fixing that or cleaning up their work order system to facilitate that process. And then lastly, this is a little more cushy, if you will, but as a Titan, class of 2009, school spirit has always been very, very important to me. And in that General Assembly that took place after convocation, I expressed to, again, all 300 plus of operations personnel that we have a very unique ability to, as a group, to touch every single campus in a way that maybe other groups in the district can't. And so I challenged them with wearing red on Fridays. So we call it Tight and Red Fridays. And so on any given Friday, and it's really picked up steam, you'll see our custodial staff, you'll see our child nutrition, our cafeteria workers, you'll see the maintenance folks, they wear uniforms, so it's sometimes kind of hard. But they are committed to being those carriers of that torch, and it is just so refreshing to see. A lot of our campus administrators are taking notice, and so I just feel like that's one way we could sow a seed into the community and into the students to show them, hey, the people who work for you, because we work for the students, but the people who work for you really do care about you. We support you academically, we support you athletically, as well as our auxiliaries. And so, in addition to that, I'm proud to share that we will be participating in the homecoming parade this Saturday. So several of our groups, the maintenance group, transportation, as well as technology, will be riding in the homecoming parade. So that's something, again, kind of cushy, but something that I'm proud of because, again, we touch every single campus and it starts with us. So that's the conclusion of my report. Thank you, Dr. Portery.
Dr. Goodwood?
Dr. Portery. Good evening to the board president, Ms. Johnson, and members of the board of trustees. I have a few updates for you this evening, and the first one is to let you know that we did have 2 intruder detection audits for campuses, and both of those campuses passed the audits, the flying colors. There were no corrective actions. That's a good thing. The leadership team recently received information on how to deal with medical emergencies as well as crisis management. I think that was important because you cannot train them enough or give them enough information to be prepared for a crisis or a medical emergency situation. And the district is required to have at least 3 safety meetings, and you have to have a safety and security team. It's mandated by the state of Texas. It's also the roles on that team mandated by the state of Texas, and we will have our first meeting in October. It'll be October 22nd. It'll be the safety and security meeting, and we have all of those persons whom we are supposed to have on the committee. And lastly, for me, from a post-secondary education standpoint, I think that it's important that we share with you that in the CTE department, under the leadership of Dr. Davis, Doctors Davis and Murphy, that students are enrolled in an HVAC program, and upon completion of that HVAC program, students will qualify for an entry-level position in the workforce. Thank you.
Great, congratulations, Mr.
Thank you, Dr. Portery. Good evening, board. Just a couple of updates from the business office. Since we last met, our budget was released to campuses and departments on September 2nd, and spending began immediately. We've had a successful rollover to the new year to implement our new salaries and to ensure that everyone was paid correctly. We worked very closely with HR, but that task was done without much pain. As of today, we've received all of our grant awards from our federal and state grants, and they amount to about $10.4 million. We have also secured the first half of our bond proceeds, so we're ready to start with our bond projects. And lastly, next month, we will be presenting our School First report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Porter. Good evening, board. I would like to discuss just 2 areas. We'll discuss our school improvement efforts and then also our leadership development. And so with regard to school improvement, we've remained focused, of course, on developing our turnaround plans, as well as our school targeted improvement plans. You may hear them referred to as a TAP and a TIP. And so we are leveraging that data that we've had so far, our BOY data, which is beginning of the year diagnostic, as well as our CBA data, our campus-based assessments, to determine our steps forward. Looking at continuous growth across those campuses, of course, we're also seeking feedback from our stakeholders. Our stakeholders would include our staff members, community members. When our campuses that have to complete a TAP present their plans to the public, we're asking that they present a QR code so that they can solicit input and feedback on their plans. We will bring those plans to you all for approval next board meeting in October because they must be submitted to Texas Education Agency in November. couple of our campuses have already received an Effective Schools Framework ESF diagnostic visit. And when Region 5 comes in to visit those campuses, they're looking at different levers of the campuses that guide their school improvement, which range from leadership and planning, teacher recruitment and retention. They're looking at the campus and culture and climate. They're looking at their high quality instructional materials as well as effective instruction. They're visiting classrooms, they're visiting PLCs and providing feedback. And then also with regards to professional development, several of our campus leaders have participated in Texas Instructional Leadership, which is called TEAL. And so we're enhancing instructional coaching capacity within our leaders, as well as in helping them improve classroom practices and driving that student achievement. Now, with regards to our leadership development, we've had our monthly meeting, and at our meeting, we have, of course, our campus leaders, as well as our directors and supervisors here in the district. And this month, we conducted a comprehensive review of our BOY data. Dr. Portery also presented the campus leaders, again, our district improvement plan. We're requesting a status report about their role within that plan and how are they performing. We're getting a performance review for each and every campus. And then we talked about different topics such as safety protocols, as Dr. Getwood mentioned. We brought in a consultant to discuss ways in which our campuses can effectively document different things that occur on campus. We look at updates regarding special education, our Section 504 and those expectations, as well as we had a presentation from our multilingual and migrant department where we talked about how our students impact our accountability overall, specifically in Domain 3. And then just emphasizing the importance of employee health and wellness in the workplace. We recognize that educators and staff perform at their best when they are supported both professionally and personally. So we also had a conversation regarding an article that was written by our very own Dr. Getwood. And so we're excited about that. And so campuses are energized, and we're just excited and committed to having a great few months ahead and a great year.
Dr. Seastrong.
All I had to do was push. Okay, so keeping in mind, good evening everyone again, 40 days. I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you. And when I'm talking about these numbers, it's in the framework of 40 days, August 1st until today. It's about 40 business days. And so since our start of the new school year, August 1st, we've taken on 30 certified international teachers. They've come aboard. We're getting them processed. It's a process to have those teachers come in from another country, Philippines. Last week, these are some that landed at the airport, and they were from the Philippines, headed to Port Arthur, Texas to teach in Port Arthur ISD. And they took a snap picture and they sent it to us. I thought that was really nice of them. And to get these teachers here, it's work. It's work for Dr. Portery, Ms. Davis out of the business office, because we incur fees to bring them over. The attorney, our HR coordinator, so it's just a lot of hands to get them into our classrooms. Dr. Bourne from the multilingual department, and so I'm just very appreciative to everyone for everyone's work in the district of getting them here. Our adjunct teachers, our adjunct teachers are our degree teachers, and since August 1st, we have been able to ensure that 29 of our adjunct teachers are now fully certified in the classroom. So we're actively working with our adjunct teachers to ensure their certification because they're highly qualified, but we want them certified. That's the goal. And tonight, you all are approving 11 additional certified teachers. So we have a total of about 70 certified teachers in 40 days. And we're going to continue to do the work to ensure that our students have the very best in front of them. And my last point, our VOE students. We've gotten our VOE students onboarded and employed, and they are actively working either at a school. We have them at the Queens, Sam Houston, TJ Lincoln, Memorial High School, and Curriculum and Instruction here at the admin has a VOE student, and they're also working in the community. They're at Brown Insurance, Gulf Coast Health Center, and Mid-America Contractors. That's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Lott? Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, this is a good lot. It will be done.
Okay, this is our media and communications report since we last met. Our football team is currently undefeated, so we want to show our football team some love. This is a picture of Thomas Jefferson's volleyball team. So middle school volleyball and football is happening now, and Thomas Jefferson's team is on a winning streak. Our PAC campus is active on their social media, and here they are dressed up, participating in College T-shirt Day. Here are some photos of our mobile command center and the very nice bus wrap job that was done on it. And we have really kicked off this year's celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month with a bang. These are our September observations. Including September is Childhood Cancer, Sickle Cell, and Suicide Prevention Awareness Months. We have some small group instruction going on in the top right corner at Travis Elementary. We salute and say goodbye to Ms. Natasha Jones from Wheatley School of Early Childhood, who retired after 26 years of service. Sam Houston celebrated International Dot Day. At the bottom left, we're bringing place value to life. In the second picture, Lincoln celebrated Avid Day. They posted nice graphics and videos to celebrate Avid Day. And our PAC campus has shown us the character education trait for the month of September is courage. And they have also been sharing graphics for suicide prevention and animated videos for that initiative as well. Every Wednesday in September, we have worn gold to support childhood cancer awareness. So these are some of our flames, but some of our Wheatley kids and some of our elementary students have also posted pictures of them in their gold on Wednesdays. Across the top, our Wheatley students are learning about shapes by creating them with their bodies. And so we have our star, triangle, and square. Our juniors and seniors are preparing to take the PSAT, the ASVAB, and the SAT at the end of October. Memorial High School did publish an electronic newsletter for parents. And at Adams Elementary, they have posted an affirmation station where students can leave Post-its of notes that they would like to share with others, words of encouragement and inspiration. And on the other side, you can take what you need in return. A lot of our campuses have had their club rush days, and here is a list of all of the clubs offered at Wilson Early College. Thomas Jefferson also has an extensive list of very creative clubs and organizations for their students. And so we want to always encourage students to participate in extracurricular activities. So not only Wilson and TJ, but all of our campuses across the board have active clubs and organizations. We have, the media team has published, produced and published 16 individual virtual tours of all of our campuses. And here are some of the screenshots. The drone takes an aerial view of the campus, and then we navigate the drone throughout the building to see the main office, computer lab, courtyard, or outdoor garden. If they have a band hall, the gym, the cafeteria, the library, some of the classrooms, the auditorium. So those have been well received. We also have at the top left corner, Sam Houston has an outdoor classroom. Our CTE students are engaged in the welding class. Memorial grades 9 through 12 have already started after school tutorials, focusing on our core subjects and STAR, and it's Monday through Thursday from 2:30 to 5. Thomas Jefferson, this is a photo from one of the dance classes there. The bottom left, the Misters Social and Civic Club donated a Sunday, which is football day, to Thomas Jefferson Middle School. They assembled bicycles for the Ignite program's PE class. So we appreciate the fact that they came out on a Sunday and dedicated their time to assemble those bicycles, because that was a tremendous help to Thomas Jefferson in that program. Also in the middle, AT&T, the YMCA, and Representative Christian Manuel presented 75 students from Wilson with laptops and supplies and backpacks. So we are appreciative of that blessing as well for that community partnership. TJ and Lincoln have been celebrating their homecoming weeks. This picture is where the student dresses up as the teacher and the teacher dresses up as the student. And this is a picture of the king and queen for TJ's homecoming. And Lucian Adams is the first elementary school to post that they are having a homecoming dance this particular school year so far. So I thought that was cute. Our auxiliaries have started highlighting individual members. We have twirlers on this particular graphic. The band is continuing with the section of the week. Every Friday, we are streaming our Titan football games for free on our YouTube channel. Here's a photo from one of the Thomas Jefferson football games. And our O-line coach and some of the other football coaches are offering free O-line training on Sunday evenings for 7th through 9th graders under the new covered practice field at the high school. Our volleyball team has started posting players of the game for when they have away games. We reimagined and upgraded our Memorial Titan Stadium rules and regulations post, and it also has QR codes to ticket information and then literally more detail about every single stadium rule. We have been having a really good turnout with the game day themes for our football games. This Friday at Beaumont United is a blackout. Baseball and softball have been having workouts under the covered field because their fields are being redone with turf. So they are having workouts nonetheless for fall workouts. Our cross-country team, as you can see in the middle on the right, has grown tremendously. And the top right corner, Jada Guillory, came in 6th place at one of our recent cross-country meets. Our football team has started submitting weekly players of the game as well for offense, defense, special teams, and the pancake chain. We posted our cross-country schedule for the fall, and here's some more auxiliary highlights. And here's a picture of, I don't know if that's the baseball or the softball field, but they're replacing the grass with turf on both fields. Once again, our multilingual department is offering basic English classes for interested parents twice a week at the public library. Something new on September 14th. Some of our cheerleaders attended St. Paul Church for Team Spirit Sunday, and they actually performed some cheers at the church during the service, and it was very well received by the members of the church. The picture across the bottom is our staff across the street at the Support Services Center. And there was also a local business, Kimmy's Cafe, that had a promotion that they ran where they were giving free mugs in your school colors with the purchase of a meal to employees. Our GT referral window has been open since September 3rd, and it will close on next Friday. So anybody can nominate a student for gifted and talented testing. The LifeShare Blood Center had to bring 3 mobile blood donation stations to Wilson because 75 students and staff members signed up to donate blood. And I thought that was remarkable because that's a huge number. They had to bring out 3 trucks. We have posted the fact that Port Arthur LNG released applications to apply for teacher grants. So we posted that information in the links on our socials if any of our teachers was interested in applying for those grants. The health department is having a drive-through clinic next Wednesday, October 1st from 7:30 to 1 at that new 9th Avenue station. We had our annual campuses and business partners meeting in collaboration with the Education Foundation and the Chamber of Commerce. All 16 of our campuses have at least one business partner. Some have 2, some have even more, 3, 4, 5 business partners. And so they met with their business partners, and they will continue to meet to see how the business partners can help support those campuses. Our Wilson students in less than 48 hours helped us to produce a video that we posted to encourage parents to complete the Texas Senate Bill 12 consent form. We have not had the response that we would like. So we went the route of getting the students to explain to the parents how important this is. Parents have to give consent for services from the school nurse, the school counselor, and for their students to participate in clubs and organizations. If they do not give consent, then it's interpreted as not giving consent. So if we don't have forms from the parents, they're basically saying that no, they don't want their children to receive those services. And it's not a problem until it becomes a problem. So we urge parents to go to our website or any of the campus websites. There are QR codes posted, there's links posted to get to the form. If they need the paper version, they can get it from any campus. Bottom right corner, community support of the game day themes. On tomorrow morning, our auxiliaries will be featured on 12 News at daybreak between 5:45 in the morning and 7 a.m. with those live interviews over at the campus. And our homecoming parade is this Saturday at 10 o'clock down Proctor. The pep rally will be under the pavilion, and we will have vendors for food, for games, for fun. There will be a live DJ. So it's going to be a fun time for the whole community. Our alumni and staff, we have one of our recent graduates highlighted as one of Lamar University's new dancers, and she's studying nursing, Miss Jayla Clay. At the bottom underneath Jayla, one of our alumni, Caden Bowie, was on the U of H Cougars football team when they won against Deion Sanders' Colorado team. And we acknowledge our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Getwood, for his accomplishment in becoming a published author in an educational journal. And we are also soliciting Memorial alumni to tailgate at the homecoming game prior to the homecoming game next Friday. So that information has been put out to the public. They must get approval from athletics and not from me. Kim Sanders, a audio and video teacher at the CTE campus, is the first teacher to receive the Golden Apple Award of this particular school year. So she was surprised in her classroom by Channel 12 News with that honor. And this is our summary for the month. Memorial High School did release a demographic uh, visual to break down their campus makeup. And then we have grown our Facebook following over 8,000 in the last 4 years. So we're up to 17,000.
Yeah, I would have a few questions. I'm gonna go back around to Ms. Jacobs. We was talking about the maintenance department and the work orders. When we talk about the work orders, are we talking? Do we have a time frame set into that? As we go in to clean up the system, do we have a time frame in that they're having the work orders done in a certain time frame?
Yeah, well, so the completion of the work order done or the cleanup activity?
Well, the completion of the work order
So-
once it's received and the completion of it.
So it varies, and that's part of the process that we are refining currently. Because sometimes we get work orders that the successful completion of it will require months dedicated to a single campus, when we all know that we have 15 facilities here in the school district. And so part of the cleanup exercise is now we are using our judgment to determine the reasonableness of the request, as well as any resource constraints. And so the transparency piece comes in where once we identify the reasonableness and any resource constraints, meaning people, time, or materials, at that point, we are meeting with campus principals, and we're also doing a walkthrough of the desired work order physically. So if it's a classroom or a set of classrooms that need to be painted, we may do a walkthrough of several of those so that we can see on the ground what is it that we need to do. And from that point, we can have those conversations to maybe come to a compromise and say, well, maybe not 15 classrooms this time, but maybe 5. And we can dedicate maybe 2 weeks to getting this taken care of versus saying, yes, we can do this, and it takes 2 months, which pulls whatever craft that is completely away from being able to service other campuses. So it is a bit, it's a bit subjective and on a case-by-case basis, but I am trying to empower the directors to take a more thoughtful approach and to just use a bit more of our professional judgment, our understanding of, how long it takes to get tasks done. So, and that's one of the feeds to why the cleanup process will take a few months. That's because we won't stop receiving work orders as they're still being completed, as we're still trying to clean this up. So, I've asked everyone for their patience, but sometimes it takes a little while to turn a big ship. But I have a lot of confidence in the operations directors.
Thank you. Well, I have a few more questions. Dr. Gilwood, also, we talked about the safety of it. Is all our campuses still doing fire drills? Are we still practicing that, having that practice in all campuses?
Yes, sir. The state has mandated that you have at least 4 fire drills per year, but our insurance requires us to have a fire drill every month. So we're having monthly fire drills. And we have other drills that are in line with safety and security mandates,
Okay, thank you.
such as lockdown, the whole drill, secure, those kind of drills.
Thank you. And Doc, I would like to commend you and the rest of your staff. This is the first time I've been on the board since 2015, and it's the first time that we've had every department make a presentation, and wasn't here for 30 minutes. Thank you. I don't know if you must have threatened them or something, huh?
Yes, yes, I have a comment. I want to associate myself with what Trustee Barty just said. First of all, I'm impressed with and proud of what I just heard. I want to hear a little bit more about Senate Bill 12, the impact of Senate Bill 12. I applaud the superintendent and staff for putting a front page flyer, so to speak, on the front page of the website. You can't miss it, right, if you go on our website. So thank you for that. But I was disappointed to hear what you said earlier about the difficulty in getting people to sign up. So is there any other comment you want to make about that? I mean, how are we doing overall? Well, that's clear.
We have put it on the website, the link, the QR code. Every campus has posted the link, the QR code. We have posted multiple times the link, the QR code, but we've also sent it directly to phones and emails as well. So we've done the all calls, the emails, and the text. It's just like with the registration for school. And it's not a problem until it becomes a problem. When
Right.
somebody's child is denied service by a nurse or a counselor, then it'll be on the news that we denied because the parent didn't provide
Yeah.
permission for us to do those things.
Wow. Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm sure you will. Thank you.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. First, well, before I even go any further, since we're on that topic, let me hint on that, and this is just a little tidbit, maybe to get over to the principals, because I was just telling Doc about the Senate Bill 12. Now, as soon as I got it in Cortland's folder, I filled it out and sent it back. And so then a week later, I got it again in her folder, and I filled it out and sent it back. So then I got a text, they said you have to fill it out, so I called the school, I'm like, I filled it out, oh, it's not on file. So I did the text that I got, and I just got a text like again today, and I filled it out again, because, hey, it won't hurt, but I said that to say, with the two that I physically filled out and sent back, some kind of way they never made it to the nurse, and it may have been that it got mixed up in all kind of other homework papers, and I'm not making a justification, because there's still probably maybe only 100 that's missing, but just to, I guess, maybe make sure that they're going through that and getting them, because I know that's what happened in my case. But every time y'all send it, it takes like 2 minutes, so who cares? I just filled it out again. But it may be something where they're getting those texts and thinking that they've already sent it on the first week of school and just ignoring it, because that's almost what I did until I called and found out it wasn't there. So that's just like a little tidbit information, maybe just to have the principals have the teachers search and make sure there's not anything they're overlooking for any of the kids. Because, if a parent did send it, the first thing, if you don't service them, is, I sent it the first week of school, I don't know what y'all did with it. So that's just an option, or maybe just telling them to have the kids tell their parents to fill the link out regardless, even if you did send it in case it was misplaced. So, but I do think y'all went through many avenues to get that done. So I guess that's just something we face with our parents. But next, I want to hit on what Dr. Portery said on yesterday. I definitely was very pleased with the way that everything was handled with the situation. Of course, it was not our fault, even though they make everything the district's fault, but every school handled it really well. You know, I even made some calls because I called Dr. Portery like 24/7. I know he get tired, probably want to put me on the block list. But I, made a few calls myself just to see if those schools were okay for parents that were reaching out to me. And it was just to help out. And everybody was really nice. You know, they were like, I'm not having an issue right now. Or, yeah, the air, is not to full capacity, or the bathrooms are having some issues, but we're working through it. And there's nothing that's out of line at this time. So everyone was really professional about it. Everyone was really helpful. And to hit on what he said about letting the kids go home, I myself had to watch two of the little kids from my church and the lady down the street, little baby, until I got ready to go to overtime work last night because Bob Hope, abruptly closed due to the issue, but they were not able to have anyone to get some of the kids or even people to watch them. So in that case, we would understand that it's a water issue, but those parents in which I had to interfere with probably would have rather their kids stay there as long as it was suitable. Of course, we're not going to put them in a dangerous situation. So I commend our district, our superintendent, and all of the administration for working through that in the manner that you did, and I'm very pleased with it. So that was awesome. Um, for Ms. Jacobs, not really anything. And like Trustee Barty said too, I mean, this is just my second term. So I hadn't been on it as long as they have, but this is one of the better, really brief, but very informative synopsis from our different administration. And I appreciate giving those updates. It does feel like it kind of keeps us in the know with what you guys are doing with Dr. Portery on a daily basis. With Ms. Jacobs, I don't have any complaints on it. I know y'all are working. Look, I've reached out to her before about grass, being a parent and citizen. And I know she probably wanted to say, "Now, Kim, we're working hard," but she didn't, and she was very professional, and it did to get taken care of, and they've been on top of it. So I know that there's growing pains we're working through. It's hot outside. It's a tedious job. So I definitely want to commend you and all of the staff that work so diligently to do that, because they have been keeping up with it thus far. And also for your spirit challenge. I mean, I know that Ms. Jacobs is one of the most, spirited Titan administrators we have. So I do appreciate you for getting them involved and showing that, everybody is moving into their Titan spirit. So I definitely like that idea. Mr. Getwood, everything that you said, pleased about the intruder alerts, of course, like Dr. Portery said, with things happening still left and right, like once a week is like something going on. So it's good to know that we're following and keeping up with those safety protocols. Also, the quick question that I did see the HVAC program with CTE, and it was like amazing to me. Like, we continue to add things. Is that the only additional program we've added this year to CTE, the HVAC? I know there were others we were kind of looking at working towards.
We're still working toward other programs,
Mhm.
but that's one that we can say is up and running. We have students involved in it at the current time. We have 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders, and we're dealing with the Lamar State College Port Arthur in conjunction with them and dealing with our HVAC program. And we have a certified, I say, HVAC man teaching the class.
Okay, that's great. And not only, like you said, that they're coming out with the ability to have a job already, but even if not to work for someone, they can work for themselves in a position like that. Like, you're making money. AC, look, I just told them my AC in my car just started tweaking a little bit, and I was about to die today. So, air conditioning is something that everybody needs. If not only going work for an employer, just having a certification to make their own money and be their own boss, that's a step up with CTE, because we're not just talking about getting them ready for careers for companies, but getting them ready to start their own businesses. So that's definitely amazing. For
President
Mr.
Johnson, if I may, I just wanted to add that in addition to the Lamar State College instructor, we do have our very own HVAC foreman from PAISD operations who will be assisting with the instruction of that course in the second semester of the year. So we're really excited for this partnership with our CTE program.
Oh, yeah, yes, that's great. That's a great add-on. I like that idea as well. Ms. Davis, she always do what she's supposed to do, so I don't have to say. Dr. Papillon, very, very great overview. I mean, I know you have a really big task, ahead of you in your position, and I thank you for being dedicated to that. You did make a comment that we kind of hit a little bit on in the back, and I just kind of wanted to ask about that. I think you said either y'all were getting ready for it or y'all already discussed how the migrants affect the status and the ratings. Is there anything that y'all are doing different? I know that that's a big thing for our district and for the, the testing and everything, so.
Yes, ma'am, President Johnson. So with regard to our migrant students, our EB students, emergent bilingual, with regard to our accountability system, there are 3 different domains, and our domain 3 has a component where we look at how much are we growing our students, how are they crossing performance levels. When our students come to the country and we assess them using what we call TELPAS, we are seeing, are we growing our students from their language proficiency from beginning to intermediate, intermediate to advanced, advanced to advanced high. And the state looks at how well we are growing our students. Are our students remaining? At one point, we had many of our students that had been here for 6+ years still taking the TELPAS every year, and they're not growing. So there's no reason our students should come to us and then they take our the TELPAS exam, which is a state mandated exam, and they're not growing. And so that impacts our campus's domain 3 score. And I mean, it's a big component. And so what we're doing, we're ensuring that on our campuses, specifically Lincoln and several others, as well as TJ, Thomas Jefferson, they have what's called a newcomer cohort. And so our newcomers have been specifically and strategically placed in classes so that the support can be easier provided, I guess you could say. So we're doing newcomer cohorts. We're also, of course, identifying them to see where they fail with regards to our domain 2. Our students that have been here, they've taken a STAR exam 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And if they are not showing growth, they are being strategically identified to participate in after-school tutorials and providing any other sheltered instruction strategies that we can use. So trying to target those students, they're creating monitoring groups for those students so they can track the performance of those specific students. And so our multilingual and migrant department is very keen on participating when we go and visit campuses. They took part in our campus visits. We did a roundabout with all of our campuses to identify students that went backwards. Maybe they mastered STAR this past year, or they mastered this past year and maybe they did not meet this year, but the previous year, maybe they met the standard. And so we specifically identify those students so we can target them. And so our multilingual and migrant department, as well as our SPED department, visited. So we went as a group, as well as our CNI department. And so just trying to come as a group, very collaborative, and helping campuses identify those students that'll give them their biggest bang that count multiple times. You have a student that's emergent bilingual, maybe they're special education, maybe they're African American, they're counting in several groups for us with regard to accountability.
Okay. Yes, that's exactly what I was asking. And that's amazing. And I think that we're gonna get some really good results and everything for that. We definitely have to, hone in on those. And we were talking about that, like I said, in the back with the language barrier, and a lot of times, a lot of things that we're up against that actually count, with us with the STAR. And that was something that Dr. Porter was explaining to me, because I'm like, well, how does that count if they don't? He was like, it counts. So I'm glad that we're hitting on that and recognizing that, and I think we're gonna see great things for that. So I definitely like that. And with Ms. Seastrunk, which was my last, I just think it's amazing. Our recruitment has went through the roof. I know your job hasn't been easy. Like, I know they keep you busy, but you do it with a smile always, and you're bringing certified teachers in on us in a really timely fashion. It's not anything that's taking forever, even getting people from internationally. So continue to do the great job you're doing. And that's all I have.
Well, that concludes our staff reports, and we are most proud of our staff members. They did a great job, and as they always do. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our minutes. Consider and if appropriate, approve minutes of the August 28, 2025 Board of Trustees meeting. Can I get a motion?
So move for approval.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee, Vice President Narcisse, and second by Secretary Diane Brown. All in favor? Any opposed? Moving on to consent agenda. The following items, which are of a routine and are recurring nature, have been designated consent agenda items by the board president per policy BE local. All of the items in the consent agenda will be acted upon by one vote. without being discussed separately unless requested by a trustee, in which event the item or items will be withdrawn immediately for individual consideration in its normal sequence after the items not requiring separate discussion have been acted upon. I will give the board members a moment to look over numbers 1 through 17 for the consent agenda.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as follows.
You see it? Okay. It's been moved by trustee Barty and second by trustee Lofton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that concludes the consent agenda. We'll move on to personnel. Dr. Portery.
President Johnson, board members, I have given you the list of teachers that we are asking for approval.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Dr. Brown and second by trustee Barty. I'm sorry, trustee, Vice President Narcisse, I apologize. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, I am asking for your approval for Special Education Compliance Supervisor, Mr. Nicholas Johnson.
So move for approval.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Narcisse and second by Dr. Brown. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Information.
Average daily enrollment, 77,650. Average daily attendance, 95.2.
Can I get a motion for adjournment?
So move.